What's good, family? It is your boy Ma back at again with another video with
New Year, New Mind.
Before the video starts, man, y'all already know Sade's not here right now. She's at home with her family. Y'all know she was here right now. She would really enjoy this video too that we finna watch. But we're gonna go ahead and get into this video, man. Today we're gonna react to King Von Friends Became Enemies by Trap Geek. You know, we didn't watch a lot of Trap Geek videos, and you say you like how he do his videos.
That's the guy who be explaining stuff.
Yeah, he be explaining it. Yeah, Trap Geek. Yeah. He really explain. Even though he might be wrong, he be explaining it. But like I said, y'all, before the video starts, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, man. We're on the road to 30K. Other than that, man, if we get straight into this. I mean 50K.
You told
50K.
You told me you and Young Boy was beefing or something like that.
I know they
something about it. What happened?
They be saying that a lot. It's like we got the same issues and holes and then you know how the internet will try to make it. But it ain't nothing too serious, nothing you should worry about.
5 people were shot overnight in downtown Atlanta. 2 of them died, and now investigators are working to figure out what led up to the violence.
Just keep moving, cuz. You got it. My fault. Yeah. Man, we shot. What you mean wrong side?
Alright, what's up everybody? We gotta talk about this King Von situation. Rest in peace. It's tragic. Everything that could have went wrong that night. Von was shot in the parking lot of the Monaco Hookah Lounge, right in the center of downtown Atlanta, after this huge brawl with Quando Rondo's crew and a couple of undercover police. Everything was captured on surveillance cameras with multiple angles, and I've seen so many rumors and fake stories circulating. The stuff about Dirk buying all the tickets to Quando Rondo's next show, news sites posting Snapchats from a fake Quando Rondo account calling King Von Queen Von. That's all fake. We don't have to invent stories. Reality is already crazy. People don't even know. There was almost a second shootout the night Von was killed. After the chaos in the parking lot at the hookah spot, both crews rushed to the hospital and went to the same one. That's why Quando Rondo went immediately to Instagram Live when he got to the entrance at the Grady Memorial Hospital.
Just keep moving, cuz. Come on.
And while they moved Von's body on the highway 8 miles from the hospital to the morgue, Atlanta police were in the very same hospital charging Quando Rondo's boy Little Tim for the murder of King Von. Now not only is Little Tim fighting this felony murder case, but something people don't know is he's already fighting a conspiracy case in Georgia. After this year-long investigation took down a trap house in
You might find me crazy, but I don't know what the conspiracy case is.
He probably was snitching.
Snitching?
I mean, you know, he was in it. Somebody was snitching and got him in trouble.
Oh, okay.
Anna confiscating 15 pounds of kush, $16,000 cash, and a bunch of guns. And if you're online even a little bit, you've seen the rumors circulating that NBA Youngboy is responsible for Von's death. We saw close NBA Youngboy affiliates going immediately to IG Live as soon as it happened, laughing at Von being killed.
The joke's on you, because now you're getting roughed down.
So that's that Von cake. When I seen it got popped, all I could do was laugh. All I could do was laugh.
Now, we're gonna get into all this, but before we do, check out my song of the day. This is my guy Young Po. Let's go. Alright, it's messed up to say, but this is the most attention Quando Rondo's ever gotten in his career. He was never a headliner, he's not a huge artist, and now he's in the position where he's playing up the role of the bad guy. Dropping that song, addressing the King Von situation, shooting that video, dressed up as the guy who killed him, Little Tim. He's been wearing bulletproof vests everywhere, getting all these shows.
I never knew that he dressed up as the... I mean, but you know they Crips and stuff. You know they all kind of dress like with the blue and the, you know with the little, you know they be looking like the L.A. Crips and all that with the
Dickie suits,
the Converses, you know.
Was canceled, and what makes the situation worse, at one point King Von and Quando were cool with each other.
63rd nigga, some dirty ass.
I don't understand, but you know you never know. I'm sorry y'all to keep pausing it, but it's like, you know, like you could be cool with somebody, but you don't know what happened behind the scenes for them to actually fall out. Like you could say what you want about them, but you don't really know what really happened. Von could have been in the wrong. Quando could have been in the wrong, or whoever was around him probably, you know, was in the wrong and said some stuff.
Up, right?
Yeah. So we don't really know. We're not trying to really figure out. We ain't trying to solve no case and nothing like that. We
out here doing the same thing y'all doing.
Assuming.
Looking and trying to figure it out on our own, but we really don't know.
Hey, Mr. Roman, the nigga on 64, y'all 63 niggas over there smoking crack.
That's a video from a year ago of the two of them before a show in Atlanta, cracking jokes and making fun of Von's ops together. But realistically, this relationship was not gonna last. And yes, NBA YoungBoy is involved.
YoungBoy, the YB situation was just too real, just too good. All us got a real bond, so I don't that music shit, like, this shit way deeper than that.
The reason YoungBoy is mentioned in this is cause he has ties with both Quando and Von. Quando was the first artist signed to YoungBoy's Never Broke Again label. They've been real close ever since, making music, doing shows. They even tag team jumped their own security together.
I remember that.
Yeah, me too.
And when YoungBoy was beefing with Kodak Black a couple years back, Quando showed his loyalty by going on IG Live and burning Kodak's merch.
Man, what's up? Man, we on some NBA shit, man. Tell us to put on some NBA shit no more, man.
He even went to New York and got into a brawl in Brooklyn with Kodak's artist Tutu G's. According to Tutu, Quando got slapped, people were throwing chairs, it was chaos. Now thankfully, nobody got hurt, but the beef is still on to this day. And YoungBoy's got a huge list of these industry beefs with people he doesn't get along with. One tension that was slowly building behind the scenes was with him and a new artist out of Chicago named King Von.
What YoungBoy talking about on this song, bro? You talking crazy on this one.
Oh yeah?
He ain't even white though. Oh! On his ass, man. You got Cap in your raps.
At this
But
point,
he clearly
Von was
said he
just
was
starting to
playing
get
though.
hot.
Right.
He had Crazy Story 1 out, the buzz was slowly building. And in March of 2019, Von went on Instagram Live to say that YoungBoy was lying in his raps. YoungBoy fans were quick in the comments, spamming him to apologize or something was gonna happen to Von in 48 hours. Fast forward a couple months to December of 2019. Lil Reese, who's super close to Von, comes out and says he would never do a song with YoungBoy. After fans were asking him for a collab, we could see these lines being drawn real quick between O'Block and YoungBoy's crew 4KT. Fast forward again, 4 months ago. These photos surface of Von holding hands with YoungBoy's ex-girl and baby mama, Jania. At the same time, Von was tweeting subliminals about posting some other dude's girl, doing stuff that would have him stop claiming his kids. It didn't take long for YoungBoy to match that energy and go out and do a song with King Von's ex-girl, Asian Doll. Both of them using each other's girls as props to get at one another. And the whole time, people like 600 Breezy from Chicago were hyping Von up, saying stuff like, I love what you're doing, we know what you're doing, hashtag rapper K. So he's saying rapper killer. Basically, he's cryptically talking about YoungBoy, who then responded indirectly but super directly at the same time by saying, I'm gonna make sure my son F's your daughter since her trolling. Now this tension kept building and building behind the scenes. Von's even got subliminals about YoungBoy on this new album he dropped last month, Welcome to O-Block. On the song Mine 2, Von says outright that he's got beef in Louisiana and the other dude doesn't know it. He's rapping that gangster shit, now he's gotta show it. So when the news hit last month that Von got killed,
Well, see, that's what.
See, that was way over my head. I ain't know nothing.
See, that's why I like Trap Geek, because he actually
he investigate and dig down.
Like,
yeah.
Well, now I understand they actually had beef. Now it's just like, it's not really no, YoungBoy might not be.
But it was like, Vine was pretty much like blowing it off to make it look like it really wasn't a lot going on, but they really did. I guess so the media wouldn't. He already had a case pending on him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't want to be out in the open. You know what I'm saying? With this situation too, because that just would have been extra fuel to the fire.
Yeah, and I
you know
feel,
what I'm saying?
And I feel like it really didn't really start the baby mamas. Like it had something to do with like the girlfriends and stuff like that. But it started with like, you know, Kehe'Mal comes to anytime, man. YoungBoy got cap in his rap, but YoungBoy probably took it the wrong way.
Right. But he did say he was playing later on with
But you can kind of tell though, because the other dude was like, "What?" Like laughing.
Right.
So I don't know.
In a confrontation with YoungBoy's artist, theories started to circulate that it was YoungBoy who ordered the hit.
And I'm sorry, my bad. They would not be listening to the song. They felt like you know he was capping. They wouldn't listen to it at all, or come on like, man, what is this, man? You know.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that, but I'm finna say I would think that, but at the same time, they do want to hear what they got to say to see if they're talking about them.
Yeah.
2 days after Vaughn was killed, a fan uploaded an old unreleased song from YoungBoy and titled it like it was a King Von diss called Let Them Shots Off. Now this was pure clickbait, but the video still managed to go to number 8 on trending on YouTube, and it's not about King Von at all. And I saw fans starting to go back into YoungBoy's catalog, reading into his lyrics, looking for clues. One song in particular, they claim predicted Von's death 2 months before it happened. The song is called Dead Trolls, and at one point in the song, YoungBoy talks about planning to rob somebody in Atlanta. He talks about leaving his ops dead and mentions D Rose being away from the Chicago Bulls home. You connect the lyrics, King Von was staying in Atlanta, he got killed in Atlanta. D Rose was a point guard for the Chicago Bulls, but in Chicago drill, D Rose was an infamous O-Block shooter who got 40 years for a murder. He's been shouted out on numerous tracks by Chief Keef, and even Von, who's got photos side by side with him. And this song, Dead Trolls, just happened to drop shortly after these photos surfaced of King Von holding hands with Jania, YoungBoy's ex-girl. Now, before we get carried away, I don't think this song...
What the word, like, he actually putting it together, like,
right.
That's why I be taking him so long to make video. He be taking like 3-4 months to make a video.
Yeah, he got to get his facts.
What the world, like, see,
it was like, okay, like, a lot of people kind of suspected, but I still can't say because I'm not the detective. I really don't know. You know, it's like bits and pieces of what they thought it may be. And then we did bits and pieces what we thought it may be. So we really don't know. It could be, but I don't know. Like, it's all adding up now, but at the same time, like, I don't know.
Song predicted Von's death 2 months before it happened. I don't think YoungBoy cooked up some Louisiana voodoo to make that happen. In reality, the Atlanta line could be about anybody. Half the industry's in Atlanta, and YoungBoy beefs with half the industry. JD Youngin, Fredo Bang, their beefs are well documented. Both of them got tension with YoungBoy, and both of them record in Atlanta. So, no, I don't buy it. Truth is, Von's manager says this incident was personal between Quando and Von.
This has nothing to do with YoungBoy doing a song with Asian Doll, and that has nothing to do with this, right?
No. This has to do with Von being the person he is and being. He don't like all that sneak this social media stuff.
And as those tensions escalated between both camps, word is Quando had been talking shit behind the scenes about Von for quite some time, to the point where Von said if he caught someone from that camp, he was putting hands on. And this music industry's small, you're gonna run into people, especially in Atlanta. That's where all the good studios are, producers, label offices. Quando Rondo's from Georgia, Dirk and Von are both based out there too, so this was only a matter of time. Now, the Monaco Hookah Lounge is right in the center of downtown Atlanta. King Von's been to that spot before, it's a popular place, but it's also a red zone for shootouts. 3 people have been killed at this place in the last year alone. That's why there were undercovers patrolling the area that night and at the venue. Now, the first reports that came out were confusing.
That's my whole thing. Like, if they were undercovers, why did you even let them have that little brawl out there?
Man, you know, like, as an undercover police, like,
I know you just can't come out and be like, you know what I'm saying,
you know,
police. But I'm just saying, like,
remember they didn't come into the club though; they was already outside the club. Remember they said Von got the car and Quando was in the car that he was asleep. Then he had woke up, I think, because Quando, one of his homeboys told him, like, hey, they go Von and whatever. Yeah. And he, you know, hit him. Then they started brawling. You know, little Tim shot him on the side. So I don't know. I don't know. And then again, I be thinking, like, why do, like, you know, they know to say Quando's from Georgia, so it's kind of like you don't know who he know, like, that's around that area. They be like, oh man, I see Von or whatever. You want me to do something, you know, because you don't know what somebody really capable of doing, for some money.
Yeah, you right about that.
The news said that undercover police had shot Von. We even saw dispatch calls from Chicago PD telling their officers that Atlanta police had shot Von and to move with caution around O-Block because emotions would be high.
A lot of them still be in the streets. A lot of police officers, don't get me wrong, they from the hood.
Yeah.
So they know everything that go on. That's what I'm saying.
How did they get that fast? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Why? Okay, when they did the shots, my whole thing, if you're undercover, why nobody sent no ambulance right then and there?
True.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they could have been undercover, but at the same time, they could be all with the same gang because police officers, they're dirty. They dirty like that. They know the streets. They know the code. They know all that. They dirty.
In Atlanta, police shot King Von and 2 of his people. Social media is active with, they're upset with the police. So if we have any jobs in Parkway, send 2 cars. Keep your eyes open. Be wary.
Now you think about it. When police call or when they doing something, they'll say "man down" or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You can hear that. Them people too calm.
They said send the 2 police to Parkway.
That's what I'm saying. It was a setup.
They're not happy with the police over there.
We later found out 3 separate crews were involved. Von's crew, Quando's crew, and the undercover police. Now, nobody knows what set Von off, but Von's manager says that night he wasn't himself. Von was celebrating his album release at Opium nightclub a few hours earlier. He was supposed to go back to his Airbnb around 2:30 in the morning, but he suddenly decided to switch routes midway and go to this hookah spot on Trinity Avenue about 10 minutes away. Now, Von cannot carry weapons himself. He's been fighting that case with Dirk in Atlanta for close to a year. They got strict guidelines to follow, but he knows his status. Usually, Von travels with 3 to 4 security, a bulletproof truck, and his guys from Chicago. But on this night, he left Club Opium by himself with 1 driver and 1 other car, leaving that fleet of security behind. When Von got to the hookah spot, he waited for 30 minutes in the car, and his security finally got word of his new location change and immediately rushed over to get to him. The whole time, Quando Rondo just happened to be in the same parking lot at that same hookah spot, napping in his McLaren. I know coincidences can happen, but this one's pretty big. What are the chances that King Von randomly decided to change routes and go to a hookah spot where somebody that he doesn't like happens to be at? One of Von's friends spots Quando and goes back to tell Von, and on the CCTV camera we see Quando making his way over to this white SUV, scanning the area cautiously. Shortly after, you see Von leaping out of his own car, going looking for Quando. As soon as Von sees Quando, he starts throwing punches. Von is unarmed, but his crew is swarming Quando quickly. That's when Quando's bro Lil Tim hops out the white SUV, pulls a pistol out, and fires off 5 shots, hitting Von in the chest and thighs. Bullets also graze Von's manager, who is in the mix of it. All hell breaks loose. Von's bro Slutty, who was right next to Von when the brawl started, was the first person to return fire once Von gets shot, hitting Lil Tim in the leg once, but then his gun jams, so he can't finish the job. Now this actually saves Lil Tim's life. Him getting shot in the leg drops him to the ground, making him a non-threat to the undercover police who were creeping around back in the adjacent parking lot. With Lil Tim on the ground and Slutty standing over him with a jammed up Glock, Slutty turns and runs into the adjacent parking lot towards the undercovers, who start ringing off shots and hit both Slutty and another O-Block guy named Louis in the head, killing Slutty on the spot and leaving Louis in critical condition. This whole time, Quando is still tangled up with King Von, who's just been shot a bunch of times and has paralysis in the bottom half of his body. According to Von's manager, Quando is screaming, "Von shot, Von shot." And on camera, it looks like he leans in and holds close to Von, either trying to help him or take his chain. It's hard to say which. But eventually, Von's brother Muop runs over and knocks Quando in the head, separating him from Von, where they can now pick him up and escape in the getaway vehicle. Unfortunately, even though the hospital was just 10 minutes away, doctors could not save his life. And now, we're left in the aftermath.
Yes, sir, man. Recipe King Von, man.
You're talking about 2 cliques with huge influence, money, and power. The very next day, we saw 600 Breezy hitting the freeway at 150 miles an hour, leaving Chicago to go to Baton Rouge as a declaration of war with NBA YoungBoy's crew 4KT. Breezy is also openly talking about revenge on socials, leaving kissy emojis underneath Von's killer's IG page. Several days after everything happened, Von's childhood bro, Nemo600, went to Savannah, Georgia to film a music video in Quando Rondo's neighborhood. I think he filmed it in the housing complex close by. Regardless, point is, nobody's squashing nothing. And while Mimo was out there in Quando's neighborhood, this girl DMs him saying they should link up while he's there. After doing some research on the girl, Nemo finds her in a Quando Rondo music video just last year. It was a setup, a backdoor attempt in Quando's home city. And you've heard that theory, the enemy of your enemy is your friend.
And these girls
That's
so
playing
stupid
out
because at
in
the end
real
of the day,
time.
they gonna turn around and get killed too.
Yeah.
Just being in the way. Trying to make some money.
Trying to set him up. I don't know. This is it's crazy.
It's not just the industry that's affected by Von's death. We can look at the city of Chicago too. This has been the most violent year in Chicago since 2016. And just like when FBG Duck died, one side was laughing, well now it's the other side's turn. As these memes of Von packs are being shared all over the internet, this song's being made, and people close to Duck just showing Von no signs of sympathy. But yeah man, that's pretty much it for this video. Rest in peace to Von. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you in the next.
Well, I feel like Von could have did, you know what I'm saying, knew that he was gonna be there, so he did turn around, you know what I'm saying, and go that way.
Probably looked on Twitter.
Yeah, because he probably wanted to fight, because it seemed like he was a hands-on fighter, so he wanted to, you know what I'm saying, fight rather than shoot, you know what I'm saying. But
like I said once before, you could tell like Quando had some type of sympathy since you know they said he probably said Von shot, so he had some type of sympathy, some type. Right?
Maybe, because, I mean, he could have. At the same time, you know, like, he one of them ones that talk a lot, too, you know, in his rap. But maybe he's not that type. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he been around people who was like that, but maybe he never actually partake in, you know what I'm saying? Right. In
I ain't gonna say a
like
shootout, but I'm gonna say like somebody getting killed.
Right. Like witnessing it and knowing that it was a friend of yours or nothing like that, because your emotions can be all over the place.
Yeah. But overall, this story is like kind of, it's all over the place. Like 1 minute they saying they don't got nothing to do with YB, it got something to do with Quando.
But when they explained it, it really didn't have nothing to do with YoungBoy.
Yeah, no, not him getting killed.
No, yeah. I'm just saying, like, overall, YoungBoy really, like, laid low in the whole situation. Like, really, it's Quando Rondo. You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy that you still have not seen YoungBoy come to the internet about none of that stuff. Like,
right.
He ain't said nothing.
Right.
Which is the craziest thing ever. Like, it showed that the man's maturing, though. It's R.I.P. Von, though, you know. Things could have went south, but they always say, like, you not yourself when you finna die.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's like that some people just become nicer. Some people just don't think straight. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And that night, he just wasn't thinking straight. He wasn't thinking like his manager said, I had watched the interview, they said he wasn't thinking like himself. Usually he'd come with, you know, like they said, at least 16 to 20 people with him.
Right.
They all come at the same time. They all get out the car at the same time. Make sure nothing happen.
He must have knew that he was gonna leave. You know, some people know, or they just be like, I don't even care no more at this point.
Yeah, then they say he sat in the car for about 30 minutes. So he probably was thinking about life and stuff. Like, I don't know. It could have been anything, man. But other than that, man, if y'all really enjoyed that video, man, y'all want to see some more Trap Geeks video, man, all y'all have to do is like, comment, subscribe, turn on that post notification, follow me and show they both on Instagram, man. Y'all go ahead and do the subscribe to all 3 channels, man. Other than that, man, we're out here.